feel like this year we really need Christmas and all the things that Christmas is. Joy, love, peace, faith, gratitude, hope. Documenting the Christmas season is such a great way to ingrain the memories and spirit. My memories are so much stronger for the years that I've documented our Christmas. I knew this year I really wanted to have a Christmas collection and I wanted it to be really special. This year I've done not only my biggest Christmas collection ever, but my biggest collection of journals ever. I've made 25 journals that will be available. I wanted there to be more to go around and to spread more Christmas cheer. I planned early and started early to ensure the collection would be ready by the end of November at the latest. Since there are 25 journals in this collection, I've numbered the journals, so there's a removable stitch number tag on each journal, as well as a number brad attached to each journal so that you will always know which you had in the set. This also means that when they go into my shop, you can just look for the number of your favourite journal rather than trying to sift through the listings to find the one that you liked the best. I have a little variety of journals available, so the first 20 journals are in this notebook style that's perfect for holding one season's worth of memories. These journals each have vintage embroidery in the window, and they also each have their own individual embossing design on the cover itself, so each journal is really unique even though they've all been made the same way. No two of these journals have the same embossing design on the cover. They all have a few little beads hanging from the binding as well, which just adds a nice little detail to the outside of the journals. I've made 4 different sizes in this style with 5 journals in each size. The smallest journals measure 10 centimeters by 14.5 centimeters. The next measure 12.5 centimeters by 18.5 centimeters. The next one up's just a little bit bigger, 14 centimeters by 19.5 centimeters, and then the largest notebook size is 15 centimeters by 20.5 centimeters. So you can see them in a stack. That's all the different sizes. So some of them jump up in size a fair bit, and then others just have a little bit more width and height. The next 2 journals, number 21 and 22, are the only hardcover journals in this collection. I wanted to do one silver and one gold, and they each have an old Christmas card image in the window and some gold or blue embossing surrounding it, and they both have a pretty selection of charms hanging from the spine, including some really cute little wooden ornaments. The last journals, 23, 24 and 25, are another notebook set, and they're sort of a combination of the 2 previous styles because they have the vintage Christmas card images in the window, they have the gold and silver or metallic covers, and they're obviously a notebook style, so it's kind of like a hybrid of the 2. And these 3 covers have pockets on both the back and the front, and they also have the little beads hanging from the binding. These ones just have a couple of extra beads. These 3 journals are fundraisers for Sweet Pea Animal Rescue, and all the proceeds from these 3 journals will be donated to the rescue. The smallest is the same size as minis in the other notebook style, and then the other 2 are the same size as the second size in the notebook style, or the next size up from the mini. These journals have their little number brads on the back on the pocket, and the hardcover journals have the number brads inside the back cover on a linen pocket, and then the notebook styles have the brads on a tab. Rather than give you a flip through of every single page in every single book, I'm just going to give you a glance at each book, so you won't see every single page, but you will see some of the pages in each book. All of the notebooks in the first style have the same wallpaper lining inside the cover, and then the other 2 styles have a different pattern inside in the lining. So there's going to be a number on the screen which will indicate which journal that we're looking at, so you hopefully won't get confused. So all of the journals have the same sort of combination of papers inside. So they have some scrapbook papers. There's some of my papers that I designed from the Together collection, as well as lots of little bits and pieces that are inside pockets that are from the Together collection. Those were printed at Officeworks. There's also some book pages, some vintage magazine papers, some ledger paper, some craft paper, some blue paper, as well as some vintage envelopes and stuff like that. So it's just got a nice mix of papers. I've tried to keep the pages fairly simple, so you can still use every page how you like, but there's a little bit of interest to some of the pages. So some of them have some vintage wrapping paper on the pages, and all of the books have a variety of pockets stitched into the pages as well. So they give you just enough inspiration to spark some ideas, but still keeping the pages plain enough that you can use them however you need to. All of the tabs on this style of notebook are made from different Christmas ribbons. So a lot of them came from my collection already, and then some of them I purchased at Spotlight and other various craft stores, and then there's some of them that I found in secondhand shops. There's a nice little combination there, and they just add more interest to the books and add a pop of colour and make it feel really festive. You'll also notice that all of these covers in the first 20 journals have a different little like a collage of fabrics on the cover as well. So as well as the embroidery in the window, they'll have like their own little combination of lace or ribbon or embroidery in like a little patchwork layered look. And they're all done a little bit differently, so it just adds even more individuality to each book. The covers of all the notebooks are made with craft tex. It's like a really nice flexible paper that works like leather, so it's just got a really nice feel to it, and I've embossed and painted those covers. And then to get that embossing to really stand out, I like to rub on some gold wax, and that just helps to bring out the patterns. And I love that all of the notebooks have a different embossing pattern, so it just makes each book really special in its own way. And as you guys saw in the start of the video, you saw a peek of some of the Christmas notebooks that I've used in previous years. So those got really, really bulky, but they all started out just like these notebooks did. So nice and flat. And then by the time I was done with it at the end of the Christmas season or at the end of December, they were really full. So I know that this notebook sort of style bulks up really nicely, and you can add a fair bit to it before it gets too full. And it's funny because these are quite light, but when you pick up the ones that I've used in previous years, they're really, really heavy. So all of these journals, all of these notebooks have the same sort of characteristics, and I know they can get just as heavy and just as full with all of your Christmas memories. So you guys know, for more than a year now, I've been selling my journals on my website instead of on Etsy, and I do really like that, but I have had some problems, some made by me in the past, just some mistakes with setting up my listings. And then one time recently, an issue that wasn't my fault, somehow two people were able to purchase the same journal at the exact same second. So both the orders went through even though there was only one journal available. And that makes me so anxious now, especially with this lot of journals, because there's so many of them. I don't want to put 25 journals up on my website and then have somehow multiple people purchasing the same journal and then have none left, and then there's not enough to go around, and it's just, I can just see it becoming a bit of a headache. So that's really a scary thought for me. I don't know if my Wix site is built for like a high volume of traffic at one time. I don't know if it can really keep up with it the same way Etsy has in the past. I found with Etsy, I've never had a problem with two orders coming through at once for the same item. So I've decided for this collection, I'm going to put the Christmas collection on my Etsy site rather than my Wix site, just because I really don't want anyone to purchase the same journal as someone else and then be disappointed because they can't have that journal, because there's only one. So I'm going to put them on Etsy, which I hope isn't going to be too confusing, but I think it will make checkout smoother for a lot of people as well. So just for this collection, just because it's going to be difficult for me to keep up with 25 listings that are usually they tend to go pretty fast, and it's kind of hard to keep a track of what's gone and what's not, especially with the volume of journals in this collection. I know a lot of you guys will be familiar with Etsy anyway, so it will probably be easier for you in a way, but I'd be interested to know if you have a preference. Do you prefer to buy on Etsy, or do you prefer to buy from an independent website when it comes to purchasing this kind of thing? So all of the journals, even though they've been made really similarly, they all differ. They don't all have the exact same amount of pockets. It's just a nice mixture. I did try to keep it pretty even with types of pages actually, but when it comes to like vintage wrapping paper and the different types of vintage book pages that are in here, they're all varied. So you can see just like a little peek into each journal. I did try to spread everything out pretty evenly so that you get like a hint of everything in each journal. All of the journals have a vintage envelope in it as well, which I think is a really cool touch for Christmas. And most of the journals have papers from my collection together. So that's my printable Christmas collection. And as I said before, all of those papers were printed at Officeworks, so I didn't print them at home. They're a nice quality paper, and so those are bound into most of the notebooks. And then I think all of the journals have at least one piece of ephemera from that collection as well printed. I've also been working on adding more pockets, but keeping it in a way that it doesn't distract from the page. So the pages still look quite plain, but the pockets are off to the side, or they kind of blend into the page, so you can still use the pocket itself as a page, and then you can tuck something in as well, if that makes sense. So just trying to keep it really, really functional. And here just giving you another little close-up look at the hardcover journals. So like I said, I only could do 2 hardcover journals in this collection. I knew that if I was going to do a huge number of journals, which I really wanted to do, most of them would have to be notebooks, because I would never have been able to create 25 hardcover journals in the time that I did do this collection, which was a couple of months. But I haven't made any hardcover journals to sell for a little while, and I really wanted to get back to that as well. So I definitely wanted to include at least 2. So the silver journal has lots of softer colour tones. Inside the book there's lots of pink colours, pink scrapbook papers and light blues, and then the gold book has more traditional colours inside, so more greens and reds. And then the last 3 journals, 23, 24 and 25, these are the fundraisers for Sweet Pea. So if you end up purchasing one of these journals, your money is going to a really good cause. So these are, I tried to make them feel a little bit special with all the different metallic colours like the gold, silver and blues, and I feel like they just feel more elegant. So the first 20 notebooks have a really eclectic feel to them, but these notebooks feel a little bit more elegant, especially on the outside covers. So just with the choice of colours and the beads and everything, they just feel, I don't know, there's just something about them that's really nice. And I especially love number 25. It's such a cute little size in your hands, and yeah, I think it's just a really special little book. So all of the details for these journals, for the release of these journals, will be in the description box below. I'll have the date, the time and all of that information in the info box or the description box if you are hoping to catch the sale. These journals will be available on Etsy, so I'll leave the link down below. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this collection. I hope you guys are all doing well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.